Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the October 16, 2023 board meeting. Please join me as I open the work session. First item we have is 7 Robbins Avenue, Son. Go ahead.
Due to the angle of the roof and the height from the street, you can't really see the panels standing in the street, so I accepted the aerial view just so you could see what it looks like from the top, but you can't really see it from the street level.
Trustee Ingram.
Yes, sir.
Trustee Wilkie.
Yes.
Trustee Evans. Trustee Lopez.
Yes, sir.
Okay, it's just called, make an appointment with Tony and give him a buzz.
We'll give you a quote in the front, right?
All right, thank you.
No problem.
59 South Hall.
Yes.
There you go.
It's another application where, because of the trees, you can't really see the roof from the street. One photo that shows you the number 59 is wedged between 61 and 57. You can't see the house because of the trees there. That's the only view that you can see the side of the roof on.
The rendering is different from the satellite view. With this rendering here, and then if you look at the satellite view on PV 0.0. It shows one line and then there's two lines. 5 panels. And here's in satellite. The different ones.
Yeah, no, the data.
Yeah, the one with.
That's just the house that already has.
No, that's okay. Yeah. Yeah, see.
Trustee Henry, trustee Coffin,
Yes, sir.
trustee Evans, trustee Lopez. Yes, sir. Thank you. Just stop back and make an appointment with the joint council.
Here's everyone. Have a good night.
Thank you. You too. $33 A. All right, good, yeah. Tell us what you want to do.
We're looking to, doing an outside patio at, a location. But we understand that it's, I guess, village property. We're just looking to, fence it in. And, we have access to it in the side of the building. At one point, it was all grass. And, it was paved by, I guess, the landlord. It was paved, it was cleaned up. It looks a lot better. We're looking to make it look a little bit better and have dual use for the business that's gonna be there. We're looking to fence it in, put some trees in there. Make it a little more, less industrial. There's a lot of people that go through Wendy's that travel through Elmsford, that they see that. We're just looking to see if we can get permission from the village to be able to use it. It will be maintained by us 100%. Anything that needed to be, at any time if the village needed to go in for any reason on the properties, the fence that we're looking to put up, could be taken down in 3 hours. And the village can have access to it at any time to do anything that they needed to do.
Where the red spot is, don't
Yes,
the street parking still stay there?
yeah, you want to take the street parking. They're gonna stop just before the curb.
Is there no sidewalk there? Well,
No. There used to be grass and as he said, they recently paved it over because the grass was just weeds and unruly. So they were just looking to fence in that paved area between their building and the curb and use it as a patio, outdoor patio. I mean, where would be a patio drawing?
And this is the.
this is the red spot.
This is right at where.
Yeah.
So the fences along the curb line?
It'll be a little bit off the curb line. There's a sidewalk across the street. So for pedestrians and everything, on the other side next to us, there's no sidewalk on there as well. It's the new building that just went up. Is actually paved all the way up to the curb. So it'll kind of, that whole side doesn't really get used. Just the other side, there's a whole sidewalk for pedestrians to walk, on the right side. So I don't think it would affect as far as for pedestrians,
No, this is.
6 foot high, 8 foot sections. Yeah, that would go, this is street parking right here, it would go along the street right here and into our building, this is our building. Yes. This is the other, this is the building.
The entire stretch of village property, the property line is, a few inches off the base of the building on that side. But two or 3 inches. So that's why they would need an agreement from the village to use the property and insurance and so on.
Yeah, we would carry full insurance and hold the village harmless of anything that if anybody fell on that piece, it would be 100% covered by us. We would carry the insurance and we would send you copies that the insurance is in effect. And anything that happens on there, we're looking to take liability 100% for it.
Condition of the license, able to have insurance maintained their entire use of the property.
Yeah, we have no problem with that. We'll show every renewal, we'll send you a renewal letter from our insurance company to make sure that it's in place. Just to keep you guys safe, I'm gonna keep myself safe as well, with the proper insurance. So there's no liability on our side and your side as well. And it'd just be mostly for people to sit outside. We're gonna have lounge chairs, but if they want to smoke cigars outside, it's a nice day. Obviously, weather permitting, we'll be able to use the outside. So it'll just be lounge chairs, maybe a couple tables, if people want to sit down and eat or something like that.
How many chairs can you fit in the little spot?
No, it's pretty big.
Yeah, it's by sports cars.
Give or take, 2, 3 cars.
Like 4 o'clock in the paper. Yeah. And the red spot?
Pretty close.
And we see the outdoor dining. I know the village gives permits for the summer for outdoor seating. I know that they have that kind of permit that they give for that. Like I said, it's only weather permitting, mostly in the winter. It's not gonna get used much if it's cold outside.
The fence is gonna be permanent.
The fence, the post will go in and the fence will get screwed to the post. But like I said, if we need to take it down, the fence comes off and it would just be whatever 6 or 8 posts there. Which if we had to take it down, the other reason why is if we put lounge chairs and things out there, seating. Somebody's bound to come by and just throw it in their car and take off with it. You know, we want to try to keep it, so we're not losing furniture or anything, or chain things down. I think that would be a bad look as well. People going by seeing things chained up and things like that. That's the only reason why we want to do the fence.
6-foot fence is okay. Like, up to-
It's not really affecting any visibility. If 6-foot fence is allowed in our code on your own property.
Trustee Henry? Thoughts?
As long as there's no legal objection.
No, I mean, we do license agreements.
We've done a few, yeah.
We did have some outdoor seating.
Yes.
And
The state property. Like Flames is on the state property, but I mean, last license agreement we did was for the guy on Sky.
Yeah.
Right, the last license agreement was Sky Meadow for the wall.
Yeah.
Right,
And there's one on Stone, South Stone.
The only issue I have is.
and the guy on White Pines Island for the fence.
As long as insurance is.
Yeah, I have no problem. You guys set the boundaries of what insurance you need to carry. And I would provide the insurance before I even put up the fence.
How much insurance you find one is what?
Whatever the village attorney feels that we would need to carry to.
Pretty standard requirements. Taking into account, various things that have to be covered, like cars, general liability, injury, versus property.
So I believe the general liability is 5 million, and then it's $1 million occurrence, something like that.
Yeah. Yes. That's fine. And then if we had to get an umbrella on top of that, we could do an umbrella as well. There's not gonna be any cars there or anything, it's just people, so. There's no worth.
Trustee Henry? Trustee Bob?
Yes.
Trustee Evans?
Yeah, I would just like to get a better understanding of exactly how this is going to look.
It's a stockade fence.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. I'm trying to envision where this fence is in terms of how close the cars are gonna be pulling up. Or like parking there still, and I just,
Yeah, it's like, let's say, the edge is here. You have food space here, and then the cars would be right here, there's a curve.
you know what I'm saying,
So that keeps all the cars off that property. It's not, street level. It's flat and it's right, the same as the building. It wouldn't look out of place where, you're like, it just popped up there.
I wasn't worried necessarily about the fence or the patio area looking at the place. I think in terms of. Just making sure that there is a level of road between where those cars are going to park and where that fence is going to begin, just in terms of somebody accidentally jumping the curb. Right? I'm envisioning it that way. So I don't know if you plan on being right up.
Yeah, I mean, if we needed to, we could put some pillars up, some posts every 4 feet.
Yeah, I don't think that would be a terrible idea.
Yeah, and that's also a safety thing as well, which I'm willing to do. That's a great point, that, God forbid a car jumps off or whatever.
Yeah.
We have the pillars there.
Because in my mind, when I've envisioned this before, there's usually a sidewalk that whatever,
You never know.
Yeah, right, like that, so it.
It has a curve.
Yeah, no, I'm seeing, I'm seeing the curve.
That they're not going that
I've also seen the way some people drop.
way.
So a curve isn't always gonna be too large of a deterrent. I think you see where we're going with this, and I kind of agree with you, just putting something,
Yeah, we could put some colors there.
because I want to make sure, you know,
Yeah, 100%.
your patrons are safe as well.
Yes, I think that's a great idea.
Okay. As long as you're willing to maintain the property insurance
Yes.
and hold the builders not liable for whatever happens. And if you're willing to install the pillars, like you said,
Yes.
I'll click yes.
Two items. One that maybe bollards, not pillars.
Right.
So, and two, that no signage be allowed to go on the fence.
Yes, the only thing we might hang on the fence is some flowers, like the flower pots, but just to make it look nicer. No, I don't want to do any signs or anything on the fence. Well,
And we're gonna need a better diagram, I think, for.
Right, just stop back and see Tony sometime.
Perfect.
And then I think, you know, if the board is inclined to remain subject to that. No, I don't. Provide limits of the insurance.
Yeah, I could have my insurance company go out and take a look at it. We tell them what we're proposing. Everything that's gonna go there, the fence and everything else, and make sure that we can cover us. And put that insurance in place right away, before we even start the work. This way, while we're even working on it, we're covered as well. I'm okay with that.
Good luck.
All right, thank you.
VOC meeting was held on September 28th in Hastings. We welcome the new Dodge Ferry administrator. City Heller proposed looking into a joint 4-hour land use training. He's going to get some more information on it, see if everybody wants to join in on that. Somebody had mentioned that the charging stations, the county's offering a 50% match on some of them. And then there was a big discussion on if somebody is charging for the use of it or just parking space. Some of them are giving free, but everybody was talking about that does happen, they're gonna start charging them for the usage of the electricity too, not just the parking spot.
Mayor, was there any discussion about safety and safety shut-offs and kind of?
It was mainly about charging, some people charge for parking space, some people charge for the use of the electricity burden, so now we're all talking this should go the other way, to electricity too, so if it's more expensive than it could also more, so. Yeah, there was nothing about the ones that existing, that's it.
There's nobody in that room that would cross their minds.
No. Orzie brought up about the bias training that we had. The mayor was not happy with that company. She said if we ever have to do it again, to look for another new company. Then there was discussion, how often do we have to repeat it, if we have to repeat it? Looking to set up some makeup sessions for the people that didn't do it mid-November, like another day in the evening, so people that did miss it before it can go. And Hastings brought up about downtown parking. There was a conversation of, who charges for media parking. Irvington doesn't charge at all. Dobbs Ferry was first 15 minutes free. Hastings was 55 cents. So there was a lot of conversation on who charges what for the parking meters. So they're going to send, everybody's going to send in their costs and fees and trying to see who's doing what and right and what's working in other communities to see if everybody wants to do the same thing. The solar installations for parking lots. A lot of communities are doing them. It was brought up in Mount Pleasant. They do a lot. A lot of the parking lots are already covered by solar panels. Then we went back to the same conversation of scams. Hastings brought it up this time instead of Tarrytown. People right to change their accounts with the village from residents. We Tarrytown repeated that they had a $98,000. They got caught on a hook for $98,000. They were all insured for $50,000. They're still getting requests to change people's passwords and checking accounts and direct deposits and stuff. So they said everybody just be careful of that. Leaf blowers again was brought up again. Irvington's only because Irvington's sunset clause is coming up. They don't know if they're going to renew it or not to pause a little bit longer, but the conversation down there was they want to wait for a little bit more better technology before they ban all the gas powered things because they're not happy with how the electric ones perform. So they're probably going to let that go on to another pause. Composting might sound brief us on that. We talked about that village-wide composting before, like the town had wanted to do with us. So some new information just came in. There was some conversation about the fire districts with the town and different villages and people have different contracts. So all going to send their contracts in to see if they all going to be on the same page. Tarrytown brought up about archiving social media. They believe that as long as you leave it up, it's okay. That's being archived because it's still there. Most of the communities delete their posts after the event, and a lot of them block the comment part on their Facebook page, so you can't comment on it. Most of them don't. There was a conversation about tax certs, who does them, and obviously it was brought up by a new person, so he doesn't know that all the villages went to the town of Greenberg. There were a couple of add-ons. One was Dobbs Ferry is having problems with homeless people sleeping in their library. Sleepy Hollow, Tarrytown, and Hastings also having problems with crime issues from their homeless people. They're getting very violent. It was brought up about Greenberg is proposing a storage building on 9A just south of Worsley. See that? The paving project for Dobbs, Hastings, Irvington, Sleepy Hollow, Tarrytown still going on. That's where they want to make the bike lane and everything all the way from Sleepy Hollow to Hastings. And it was discussed about a grant, well, somebody, Dobbs, Hastings, and Irvington got a grant for an arborist and forest management to work on that, revitalizing their forests down here, because they had a lot of stuff in the deer, remember deer like all the years? So you want to give us any information about the.
So since that meeting, the managers and administrators got together and we get together every other week just by Zoom. It came to my attention and one of the other guys that there was an opportunity to put in for a study grant that we felt the curbside food scrap project or something like that, because everybody's looking at the same thing of trying to do that and not making much headway because of the cost and the unknowns. Mostly the unknowns of the money and how many people will participate. So we came across a study grant that something like that would be eligible in. It's a 50% match. We basically have it written already. And we're trying to figure out, we're talking to some consultants right now about what it would cost to do the 7 villages. So that's the 6 villages in the town as well as Sleepy Hollow, to bring a professional company in to analyze what it would take to do such a program and what the options are. So it's a state grant, it's 50% match. At the max that we believe we would go for, each of the villages would be in for $25,000. So that would be a $350,000 grant, which is probably more than enough to do something like that. So we're all mentioning that and we're proceeding with the grant application. Obviously, if we got awarded and come back to you, you can accept it. But we think we have a good chance to put it together and get that award. That's it.
Thank you. November, December. Meetings. This will be November 6th. And normally we would do the 20th, it's a Thanksgiving week, is any. Are you going away or anything? Or?
So we're doing the 6th and the 20th?
Okay. In December, 4 and 18.
Dave Smith, the first meeting, the November 7th one, that's the most. You gotta get them open on that. November.
As long as you guys got enough time to do. Mike, you got enough time for that?
Yeah. I think you'll wanna, what you guys are interested in. And some direction. I'll check this out, check to make sure it's good.
During the work session.
I'm shooting on the